Yo. In the days of old, 5 elements were known. MCing, DJing, graffiti had grown. B-boy and knowledge, the pillars of the game. But a 6th emerged, adding to the flame. Comics and hip-hop, a fusion so tight. Visual storytelling, lyrics that ignite. From the pages to the beats, a seamless blend. The 6th element, where 2 worlds transcend.
Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu guiding the way, bringing you the culture every day. Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu.
There we go. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the show. Sorry about the late start. We got co-hosts overseas in Japan logging in. We might get them to pop in. Let's see, it's about 9 a.m. over there in Japan. Bet. So yeah, hopefully Stu come in, show us what's going on in the big Japan, the big island of Japan. But anyway, what I'm talking about. Welcome to the 6th Element Show. We got a great one tonight, as always. Stu Dog in the chat. Yo, salute. Hopefully he'll be able to pop in here in a sec. And yeah, man, as always, plenty of great content for you tonight, especially talking about the DCU, mainly all kinds of good stuff. We got R-rated projects, man. We got some great news about Supergirl, Batman. Yes. All the DCU content is really coming together, and it's looking beautiful. It's looking quite glorious. We can really chop it up any old way, man, because we just having a fun show tonight. It's Wednesday night. Tomorrow's Juneteenth. I'm off, so I'm gonna rock as long as I want to tonight. Guests come in and pop in and out as we do it, and you know how I go. But it's been a long day. I ain't even chief yet. That's dead up, and this is a travesty. This must be partooken. Yeah, man. So yeah, 6th Element Show, DCU, Superman, Stu Dog coming from Japan, Batman. I know y'all are like, this sounds like it sucks. All right, here we go. Here we go. DC officially working on the movie that we've all been waiting for. They are finally hooking it up. Everyone deserves a second chance, especially some of the greatest superheroes ever created, man. And I'm talking about that guy. At this point, it isn't a real secret that the previous iteration of the DC Extended Universe failed to meet fans' expectations. Some fans, anyway. Some fans like the Snyderverse. More power to you. For me, it was all about Man of Steel. I loved Man of Steel. Pretty much hated Superman as a character before Man of Steel. Didn't like any of the previous movies. I didn't like him, dude. When I was a little kid, everyone loved Christopher Reeve Superman. Cool. But when I got older, teenager, I liked an edgier fare. Batman: The Dark Knight was coming around. First of all, I'm 10 years old when the DC when the Tim Burton Batman movie takes place. Jack Nicholson, Joker, gangster Joker. Like, that's my introduction. So yeah, Superman was not it for me. So Man of Steel gave me a Superman I could sink my teeth into. It gave me a Superman that I felt wasn't just some fakey Boy Scout, infallible, whatever. And I didn't really appreciate the Superman before, as I have come to. So yeah, man. But a blank slate is upon us now, and the very first strokes of paint will come on July 11th, 2025, with the release of Superman. Man of Steel's upcoming adventure, along with the Creature Commandos animated series coming back, are just the first two in the brand slate of projects. Batman, as we know, will be the star of The Brave and the Bold. Both Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart coming through to steal the spotlight on The Lantern Show, and many more adaptations featuring iconic heroes that will be released soon. Many DC projects coming our way. The best part is that this is only the beginning. Whether you're a DC fan or not, and I'm a Marvel guy through and through, but of course I was a little kid into Batman. I saw Super Friends when I was little on, the cartoons. Like DC's always been that sort of, it always, no matter what you do, it's always there. You know what I mean? It's always a part of you, especially if you're in any way a fan of this shit. James Gunn merely announced one part of the first chapter of the DCU titled Gods and Monsters. And that means that obviously there's lots and lots and lots of other surprises, to be sure. And with two of them out of the three members of the DC Holy Trinity having projects of their own, a lot of people wondered about Wonder Woman, right? Diana Prince, if she would eventually get to have the spotlight. Never had any mention of Wonder Woman. What's going on with Wonder Woman? We know about Supergirl, but yes, now we do know of the Wonder Woman. Stu said the DCU needs all of that. We need change in superhero game in Hollywood. Say it. Yes. Cheers, my man. EGC salute. Derpy salute. He said there's Teen Titans movie to him. Yes, Teen Titan is coming out, man. There's so much being written by the last who did Supergirl. And the great thing about that is that's the Tom King Supergirl. There's a Tom King. We're going to get to it. Trust me. Fortunately, after months of speculation, we finally have an answer on the Wonder Woman thing. A new Wonder Woman movie is set in the DCU and is officially now in the works. When DC Studios co-chairman and CEO James Gunn announced the slate of DCU projects coming in the upcoming years, he talked about Paradise Lost, which was a TV series set in Themyscira, described as a Game of Thrones, sort of with all the inhabitants of Paradise Island. And it wouldn't have Wonder Woman in it at all. It was going to be literally a prequel about something pre-Wonder Woman, her ancestors, because yeah, that's what we've all wanted to say. Like, what? But anyway, during a conversation with Entertainment Weekly, James Gunn revealed that a Wonder Woman, a Diana, right, Wonder Woman, is currently being written and will be a separate project from the Paradise Lost, which is still happening. It is acknowledged. It is a separate thing. So it's really going down. He said, literally, Wonder Woman's a separate thing. We're working on Wonder Woman. It's being written right now. End quote. So Gunn also confirmed that the role of Wonder Woman hasn't been cast, which all but confirms that we'll see a new iteration of the character separate from that of Gal Gadot. Sorry, Stu Dog. No Gal Gadot. General consensus among fans is that Adria Arjona would be a perfect candidate for the role, given her likeness, to the beloved hero, as well as the fact that she's effortlessly stolen the spotlight in big franchises like Star Wars Andor. And not only that, but the iconic actress is aware of the fan casting and has asked fans to help her make it a reality by writing to James Gunn about it. So she's really lobbying for that role, and fans are digging it. Fans are into it, and they're like, yeah, I dig that, and I mess with it. The thing is, like, I guess she looks like Wonder Woman. I think she looks more like Gal Gadot than Wonder Woman, which is cool, but she doesn't even look like it. Dude, I think she's finer than Gal Gadot. Sorry, Stu. I do. I think she's finer. Let me show you who I'm talking. You know who she is. She's from Andor. She's bad. She's bad. She's bad. Yeah. So this could be our Wonder Woman, y'all. This could be our Diana. And I dig it. I think that's spot on. She's the right age. Gal Gadot's a little bit seasoned. Let's keep it a buck. And she definitely looks the part. We know she can act. We know she's got the chops. We know she's good. She did great things in all her roles. And it works for me. So yeah, guys, that's one little tidbit of great news going down right there. Wonder Woman in the works happening. And we're talking about one of the baddest. That would be a great casting, Lauren says. Anybody but Katie O'Brien, please. Yeah, man, I rock with it. It works for me. But the fact that we're definitely getting it is really cool. Unfortunately, no release date window, of course, has been revealed for the Wonder Woman movie, but it's being written, right? And that being said, and we kind of knew it's going to happen anyway, like eventually it's got to happen. But I thought maybe after Gods and Monsters, for some reason, we were going to wait and do a Themyscira show and do Wonder Woman later. The DCU film set after Superman is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which will be released June 26, 2026, just a little over a year away. And then we get Clayface to look forward to, which is like a horror movie, which will also come next year. Every project afterward is expected to arrive in 2027 at the earliest. So this Gods and Monsters slate, it goes out a ways. And given that Wonder Woman was just recently announced and is just now being written, I'm looking at a 2028, 2029, maybe. Hopefully not that far, but yeah, easily. But fortunately, it seems like the wait will be certainly worth it, right? During an interview with Entertainment Weekly, James Gunn hinted at all the roads that will lead to an eventual Justice League project. And when asked if such an anticipated crossover is part of the Gods and Monsters DCU chapter, he answered with a simple, sure. And that plan seems to be more likely now than ever that Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are all set to have their standalone projects. And we already know Hal Jordan is already there. We got Green Lantern. Who's missing? The fastest man alive. Flash botched it so hard, they're just like staying away for a while. It's just, which is sad because like it's fucking the Flash, bro. Flash is so cool. Why did they cast him with that kid? I don't know. It's beyond me. Definitely not of Barry Allen at all. But you know, I'm not scared to see a recast. You already know. Still hope they recasting Pattinson. It's not that they're recasting. Let's talk about that. Stu said, we don't want anyone lobbying for a role. They ruin it. Remember Nicolas Cage. Okay, remember Nicolas Cage. Remember Ryan Reynolds, who lobbied for Deadpool and got that made. So let's not count out lobbyers yet. Pattinson is for the Batman. The Brave and the Bold is a whole different Batman. So it's going to be a different actor. It's just that simple. You know, I kind of get frustrated. Stu about to hop on. That's what's up. I get frustrated because, like, I see all this shit online. I want Pattinson to be in the DC. I want Pattinson. How, bro? Pattinson is the Batman. He's the Batman. He's from the Batman universe. It's a very different universe altogether. It's a more grounded in reality, very realistic. What would the Riddler look like in the real world type of movie? Whereas the DCU is very much comic book characters, looking like comic book characters, acting like comic characters, bright, colorful, very comic-y, very fun. The Brave and the Bold, hopefully, and I'm super down with this, Brendan Sklar would fucking nail that shit, and is the popular vote, is the fan cast right now. So that would be fucking cool. But no, Pattinson definitely not. Pattinson is definitely going to be the Batman in the Batman 2 if the planets align and the gods allow the Batman 2 to actually happen, because that's actually questionable at this point. But it's been confirmed, but so was Blade. Yeah, but Brendan Sklar, dude, if you saw 1923, the Yellowstone spinoff, great example. He would fit. He would definitely fit as a Bruce Wayne, an older. Hang on. Oh shit. Stu Dog's gonna try to get in, but he said the cellular system in Japan sucks as far as data is concerned. That's interesting. I would have thought the opposite. I would have thought Japan had it locked. But you know. Where am I at? Moving that. So James Gunn talks about the Batman thing. And he was saying that his biggest issue right now is that he's not interested in a funny, campy Batman at all. So while it's not going to be a mega grounded in reality, dark, Pattinson, Matt Reeves, the Batman version of Batman, it's not going to be, the 1960 Batman show or anything like that. It's not going to be a campy. It's not going to be 1950s comics code, none of that shit. But it is going to be, you know, more of a comic book esque Batman versus which honestly, since Joel Schumacher completely shit the bed, you know, every Batman movie has tried to be more and more realistic and stuff. And so Gunn's going to bring it back without blowing it like Schumacher. Hang on, let's Stu Dog in here. I got him in here. It's hella loud. Let me see.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You got a camera? You ain't got no camera?
I know. I don't want to risk it. I'm taking my son to get some breakfast right now. When I get back to the hotel, I'll do the camera thing. The cellular service here is good, but the data and all that, like the Wi-Fi, 4G, it sucks. I think they're on like 4G. It's real slow.
That's crazy,
So,
bro. I thought Japan would
using
be
the camera,
top of the line.
You thought it'd be what?
Like top of the line shit, like high tech. Tokyo, Shibuya.
It is. Well, they're not as addicted to cell phones as we are. They don't sit around and stream and watch TikTok all day.
Oh, really? So it's like not the same.
Yeah, they use it for informational purposes mostly. So we're like 90% entertainment, 10% information.
Right.
They're the reverse.
Right.
10% entertainment, 90% information. So like,
yeah,
it's good for that. You want to Google something, you want to,
yeah,
look something up or whatever, you good to go. But once you start streaming videos and all that, it's kind of slow. It lags. But like I said, it's based on their needs, not our needs. We're addicted to TikTok.
Well, to
Anyway,
answer
when I get back to the hotel, I'm gonna broadcast live from the hotel. I can sit down and live chop it up.
Oh, okay.
Now this and there's also a 13-hour difference. It's 9 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah, right. When are you going to the hotel?
So you're like, it'd be about maybe 10, 15 minutes. Just going down here to McDonald's.
Because I want you to show at least, look out the window and let us see some of Japan.
Oh, hang on, I'll let you see some of Japan.
There we go. That's what we want to see. We want to see Japan. Here we go. Guys, we're gonna get back to Stu. Come back with the camera.
Hang on. I'm trying to get it back.
Keep believing and shit. But no, while you're doing that, Damian Wayne is gonna be the Robin in the Batman, the Brave and the Bold, because it's literally based on like a Damian Wayne story. So yeah, they're not gonna and it's not an origin story. They're not starting at scratch and building it up, and no, they're not gonna go through all the Robins and anything like that. Really, you liked it? You wanted? You think?
No, Sam. Why so? Why not?
Hang on, bro. You got sirens and shit. I mean, Batman Forever in tone wise, like, yeah, probably like more like that, like a little bit of a comic-y, but not campy in any way. Like, remove the camp, but also it's James Gunn, so there will be comedy, but it'll be more edgy than like a campy. Yeah, I mean, listen.
That should be good though. That should be good for it though.
I don't want campy, funny, goofy Batman. Yeah, but I don't want a goofy Batman, but I want a comic book Batman. Right?
Wait a minute, but remember what we always talk about. Remember we always talk about the cookie cutter, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's not Batman.
Right. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing with just like Superman being a lone kind of character, like a singular guy, usually stars in his own movies. Batman or Superman never has any other superheroes in his movies or none of that. And so, but Gunn's doing it like a fucking ensemble, and the same thing's gonna happen with Batman. It's gonna be Batman and Robin, Damian Wayne. I'm sure we'll see like Ra's al Ghul's daughter and like Damian Wayne's mom, maybe even like it could be. They could go all there. That would be really cool. He said, I want a brighter than Snyderverse, but serious. That's what I'm thinking. Like, that's what Gunn's saying. Like, brighter, more comic booky in that way, but not goofy. You know what I mean? Not 60s TV show nonsense, but not that it's nonsense. I mean, it is what it is, but you know. Shit, Stu fell out. He'll be back. He's in. So yeah, Stu Dog's in Japan. He's visiting a relative there who's in the military and stationed over there. So that's hella cool. But hopefully he'll come back on. We'll get to see some footage of Japan. That's the one place I want to go. That's the one goal in my life. I have to, if I get anywhere hella far, it's Japan. That's where I got to get to. So I'm definitely doing that. But student beat me to it. We're gonna do it as a trip. We're gonna do a 6-element trip to Japan one day in like 4 years. Remember I said that. It's June 18th, Wednesday, June 18th, 2025, 8:31 p.m. We're going to see Mount Fuji. We're going to Japan in 4 years' time. Here we go. Hold on.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Yo. Yeah, he muted his mic. But yeah, we're in Burger King, I think, in Japan here.
we're at McDonald's right now.
McDonald's, yeah. BDBGP salute. How you feeling? How you But yeah, what's happening with the Batman movies, right? It sounds like things are moving at a glacial pace for like the live action.
I'll be right back, and I gotta use my translator.
Do your thing. Yeah, but like the live action incarnation for the DCU, right? With DC Universe, with James Gunn saying Batman's my biggest issue in all of DC right now. Not meaning like it's his biggest problem, but like that's his biggest thing, what he's on right now. Like he's done Superman. He's kind of got Superwoman is kind of doing its thing. Supergirl, I mean, it's like kind of on track. Really, he's all about Batman right now, making it happen. In February, James Gunn and Peter Safran confirmed the Brave and the Bold will introduce a new Batman to the DCU, ruling out current Batman actor Robert Pattinson in the process completely. At the time, Robert Gunn and Safran said Pattinson would play Batman in Matt Reeves' Batman universe, dubbed the Batman Epic Crime Saga. That's what the Batman, it's the Batman Epic Crime Saga. That's the name of that universe. Pattinson stays in that universe. The Batman 2 confirmed to be in development. Last year, Batman 2 was then delayed, of course, and then this time to October 1st, 2027. If that date stands, it will end up being 5 years between the world first seeing Robert Pattinson become the Dark Knight and again in the sequel. 5 years between 1 and 2. But what does that mean for the timing of the Brave and the Bold? Gunn faces the potentiality of confusing and having two actors playing Batman in the movies across two different DC universes like at the same time, or at least close enough that it's going to be weird. And so perhaps it comes as no surprise to hear Gunn explain the challenge that he's facing with Batman right now. He did an interview with Rolling Stone, the same interview in which he touched on the Snyderverse fandom and the decision to ditch subtitles from the Superman and Supergirl movie titles. And there was also the days of the week tiles that were the movie was actually, Superman was like set into episodes, and when they first screened Superman, it came up and it was like, it said Monday, like a title card, Monday, and then you saw part of the movie, and then it came up Tuesday, and then more of the movie, and then Wednesday, right? Like it went it was like a weekly episodic thing in the movie. Audiences like weren't feeling it. Gunn removed all those days of the week things and put it together in one movie, took out the episodic nature. So like he's doing a lot, but he once again cast doubt on Pattinson crossing over into the DCU to play Batman in both versions. Not going to happen. I would say never zero, because you just never know, but it's not likely. It's not likely at all. But amid the speculation about how Gunn will handle Batman, rumors having sprung up that the Batman 2 is canceled, but Gunn denied this, insisting that the director Matt Reeves is just being slow. But it does sound like the movie in some, is some way off. given that there's still no script yet. But he said, I'll also say Batman 2 is not canceled. That's the other thing I hear all the time, that Batman 2 is canceled. It's not canceled. We don't have a script. Matt's slow. Let him take his time. Let him do what he's doing. God, people are mean. Let him do his thing. Man. End quote. So yeah, thoughts turn to Brave and the Bold, which is what I'm really excited about. Like I want it, and I'm just praying that we get blue and gray suit, yellow belt, yellow. I want to see that so bad in live action, bro. Like we haven't seen that since the 60s TV show. Every fucking suit since Tim Burton has been a black suit. But he's blue and gray all through the comics all the time. So yeah, man, we need that. I need that. So hopefully the Raven Bolt is going to be just that, like a blue and gray suit, yellow belt, like Damian Wayne, everything looking very comic-y, but not being campy and silly, being serious like the comics, like the comics, of today. And then the story was coming together very nicely. He said, but the Flash director, Andy Muschietti, is he still directing? Gunn and Safran are developing the script, and we'll show it to Muschietti. He said, when we have it in a place that we think it's ready to go and see if it's a fit for him, end quote. So thank God it's not a guarantee that the guy who made the debauchery that is the Flash is going to be making Brave and the Bold. I don't know why they would even consider such a nonsense idea unless they know why the Flash movie sucked and it had nothing to do with Andy Muschietti, which I'm willing to totally believe. I think it had mostly to do with Ezra Miller, for me anyway. But he said, I'm very, very actively involved in the script. He did a little tweet. And but speaking now on Batman, Gunn said that he's not actually writing The Brave and the Bold, but is working with an unnamed writer to, quote unquote, get it right. He said, Batman's my biggest issue of all. DC right now, personally, he said, and I'm not writing Batman, but I'm working with the writer of Batman and trying to get it right because he's incredibly important to DC, as is Wonder Woman. So outside of the stuff that I'm doing in the projects that are actively going, our two priorities are finishing Wonder Woman and our Batman scripts. And then he discussed, like, in vague terms, the kind of Batman that he's going for, or perhaps, it would be better to say the kind of Batman that he's trying to avoid. He said, quote, Batman has to have a reason for existing, right? So Batman can't just be, oh, we're making a Batman movie because Batman's the biggest character in all of Warner Brothers, which he is, but because there's a need for him in the DCU, and a need that's not exactly the same as Matt's Batman. But he's not a campy Batman. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in a funny, campy Batman, really. So we're dealing with that. I think we have a way in. By the way, I think I really know what it's. I think I really know what it's. I'm just dealing with the writer to make sure we can make it a reality. So I guess he said something funny and they wrote it that way. But anyway, so yeah. Checking the comments here. He said, I want the green. Are you talking about Swamp Thing? Lobo and New Gods would be awesome too. I really want Lobo. Well, that sounded pause. Lobo's gonna be in Supergirl, but I hope that he gets like his own. I hope it just goes over really well, and they have to make like a dope ass Lobo movie. But yes, Swamp Thing will be phenomenal. They're definitely doing Swamp Thing, and apparently it's going to be like a horror vibe too, which is super dope. It's in a long shot, but Animal Man would be dope in the red. But yeah, dude, Swamp Thing, dude, that show that they recently made, not super recently, I guess, but the last show that they made was so good, and it was like one season, and I don't know why they canceled it. I forget why they didn't do season 2. But I've heard, like, I don't know. As long as it's as good as that shit, I'll be happy. But I'm sure it's going to be way better. Because, dude, when I first saw Swamp Thing, when I was a little kid, it scared the shit out of me, dude. Like, that movie was a horror movie to me. Like, dead up. Like, I was really little, and the fucking... Yeah, just the whole thing. It was boring. It was like 80s B movie, like borderline, and there was like that kid, dude. It was definitely a creepy vibe. So they're gonna go with that horror type vibe with it. But yeah, will fans wait for the Brave and the Bold to see Gunn's Batman? Episode 6 of the DCU canon Kickstarter, Creature Commandos, showed Batman. We saw him like up on the top. Stu Dog was good. Tax issues. That's why they can't. That's why they didn't do season 2. That sucks. What's good? You back? You know, you in the hotel.
Yeah, I'm back. I ain't in the hotel. I'll be there in about 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
But while I'm walking, I'll show y'all some of these rugged Japan streets.
Yeah, here. Yeah. So I was just looking at the throw this up there for y'all real quick. I'm turning the AC on. It's gonna be loud, but I can't. It's hot, like 90 degrees outside.
Bruh, it's like 105 here. I forgot
That's
how hot it is
crazy.
here. No, like I literally forgot how hot it is here. Man. It's not even funny how hot it is. Most
Yeah.
people come out at night because it's so hot during the day. And it's like you're on the other side of the world, so the sun hit different. So they like at night this place is lit up. The street is plenty of people come out and things like that. But during the day, they're not really you don't see too many people. Like, see how the streets are kind of barren? It's early in the morning, like in America, people going to work. Yeah. They're trying to beat the heat.
What do they be doing?
Huh?
Well, you said early in the morning they be doing what?
They trying to beat the heat.
Oh, right.
It's hot here in the daytime. It's like
Look, homeboy got an
super
umbrella.
hot.
We got an umbrella for the.
You gotta have something.
Yeah.
You gotta. If you don't have a hat, or look, you'll see people with umbrellas. You don't have a hat or something like that on your head, right here. You might
Yeah.
die. You might pass out. You might not make it.
Wow.
They got buses like we do,
Yeah.
but they're peaceful people, and they're very friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I can't wait. We're definitely gonna do a trip once the element blows. But here's the Batman for the DCU. That's Creature Commandos, the animated version of Batman. And one thing that Gunn was very adamant about and was very clear about was that the characters in the DCU are going to be the same characters throughout the animated shit, the video games, the movies, and the TV shows. Anytime you see a Batman in any one of those, it's the same Batman. So like the same with all the characters. All the characters in DCU are going to be across every game, show, whatever. Pattinson's Batman is not part of the DCU. It's Warner Bros. It's DC, but it's like an Elseworlds. It's its own thing. Yeah.
Yes, an Elseworlds. Yeah. Yeah, but that's smart.
Yeah.
When you think about it, because now we don't have to get used to another Batman. We don't have some, like it all seems the same, and it's just good for kids. That's something we're used to. So
Yeah.
we can get
Well, and Gunn was asked, like, they asked him, like, I mean, he purposely made him like a silhouette. You can't really see the details of his costume on purpose because Gunn hadn't decided yet, and like still apparently hasn't fully like decided exactly what the costume is going to look like. He didn't want to commit at that time, and what this look at Batman did provide us with. Hang on, let me let Sada in the building. Sada,
Hi, hello.
welcome. Look at Stu Dog in Japan and shit.
I saw a little bit of it. It looks so
Yeah.
cool.
this year. You came to see my nephew, U.S. Marine, stationed over here.
Oh, word. What up? Welcome. Sada in the building.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're talking about Batman, and we're talking about Gunn's Batman, and what's going on with
Mm.
James Gunn,
Okay.
and the the look that we got, the little glimpse we got of Batman on the Creature Commandos cartoon is the same Batman that's going to be in the Batman the Brave and the Bold movie. But yeah, we don't exactly know what he's going to look like per se. But what this did provide us with, Gunn explained, was a clear indication that Batman not only already exists in the DCU during the events that we're seeing in Creature Commandos and during the Superman movie. So keep in mind, but that he is well known within the universe, and that's why there's no need to tell his well documented origin story anymore. We don't need to see pearls bouncing on the sidewalk anymore. The we know, and so that's the whole deal. That's the deal with basically all the characters in the DCU, is that they've been around, they've been doing things, we're not coming into this like, oh, we're gonna like pretend like all these people just fucking sprouted. No, like I hate when they do that. Like in this franchise, I love the fact that we're just coming into it just like you would open a comic book. Like these characters are already existing in their worlds, and that's cool. That's a cool, because it's a fresh take. We haven't really seen that in a live action universe yet, so be really cool. And then Gunn then made an interesting comment that suggested that the DCU Batman will team up with Superman at some point. He said, this is the DCU Batman that we saw in Creature Commandos. He said, listen, I got to tell you, I just love Batman. I love him. I loved him since I was a little kid. He's one of my favorite characters. I've gone on the record in the past when I was at Marvel saying that my favorite character is Batman. I love him, and we're going to do great things with him. He's the most popular superhero in the world, and I can't wait for people to see more of him along with Superman and together. So Superman and Batman together in a movie. So at some point, either in some sort of team up movie where Justice League is being assembled, or just in a Batman Superman team up movie or whatever. But that's going to be the cool thing about this whole universe, is that just because it's a Superman movie or a Supergirl movie or a Batman movie doesn't mean that you're not going to see all those characters in that movie, right? Just because it's a Superman or a Batman movie doesn't mean you're not also going to see Wonder Woman there, or Green Lantern, or Flash, or whoever, because it's a comic, and in comics, heroes always are in each other's books. Like it's a normal thing. Yeah, man. So that's very what do you, I don't know, I can't think of the word right now. I'm really looking forward to that. But that the fact that he loves Batman, dude, is cool, man. And he is the most famous character in the world, technically. Stu Dog is, yo, what up?
Shut up. Check this out. Listen, I gotta show y'all. This is like incredible. And this is the scope of hip hop around the world. Check this out. All right, so this is the
Hip
lounge
hop.
of the hotel I'm staying in, right? But check out the artwork on the wall.
Yo,
Ooh.
Easif.
And it's for sale. You can buy it.
What? This is an art gallery you're in?
That's Biggie, right? Check this
Ooh.
is a fan
What?
favorite right here. No, it's the
What?
lounge. It's the lounge. But you can buy. Yeah, and you can buy the artwork. So, so I'm trying to sell it. You can buy
Ooh,
That's
the artwork.
that's dope.
You come over. Come check this out. Y'all recognize this?
oh hell yeah. Low End Theory.
Ooh.
Tribe Called
Uh,
Quest album. Biggie with the Crown.
and this
Dog, where are you right now?
radio's on. I found it. Marlon Brando.
Oh, Godfather.
Mm.
That's gangster. Literally.
Yeah, it's big small. Now the painting is like almost like a tissue.
Biggie.
I guess they painted it. I don't know if you can see the
Yeah.
texture.
What
I
is
don't know
it?
if you can see
Yeah,
the
what
texture. See it?
it looks weird, but I can't tell if it's like the bad
And
image
they
or
put it
what.
on like this wooden frame.
This shit looks crazy though, man. Now, how much are they going for?
I think they had it in their currency. I don't know if they had it in
Yeah,
USD.
that's what I. Yeah, it definitely looked like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
Teen
told
Titans
you
movie.
the streaming part that sucks.
Yes, that is coming up. I
Yep.
hope they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
Hawking Dove. I don't know.
Mm.
yeah, if I use the camera, yeah, if I use the camera, it's going it just it eats up too much. It eats up too much bandwidth. So
Oh,
bandwidth is
right,
huge.
right.
I can talk and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but once I hit the camera, I can get a little bit out of it. But
yeah,
yeah, we're talking about Batman. I agree with the using the same person, the same for everyone. I mean, if you think about it, we had how many different Batmans in less than a decade? Like we had
yeah,
Michael Keaton, we had George Clooney, we have Val Kilmer. That's three different Batmans right there. And generation or something that's like the main DC continuity, something for kids or just like a one shot or something that's
yeah.
outside of like the regular Earth One type of thing. They usually emulate the stuff they had in the movies. So now you got three different Batmans in less than 10 years, and you're like, which one do I use? Like, which one was the most
Right.
popular? Which one do I have to draw? And that could be a problem, merchandising wise, because now somebody's got to get paid, things like that.
Yeah.
That's just what that just eliminates all of that, simplifies it, and puts it on a playing field where everybody can just say, all right, we know that bad. We going or some people might not like the George Clooney one, and that's the one they use, and be like, well, I hate George Clooney. I don't want to read that. I don't want to touch that. So it just eliminates things.
Yeah. Well, the Clayface movie. Speaking of Batman,
Oh, that's
um,
good as casting.
yeah, they cast the Clayface movie, with Tom Reese Harries, and according to the Variety, the Welsh actor known for his role in Apple TV's Suspicion and Netflix's White Lines has officially joined the cast as the lead role for the upcoming title, focused on the Batman villain Clayface. Uh, Man, I think, yeah. The So he secured the role after being out talents such as like Jack O'Connell from Sinners or Leo Woodall, The White Lotus, Tom Blythe from Hunger Games, and George McKay from 1917. But the film's being produced by Lynn Harris and Matt Reeves, with production set to start this fall, per the Wrap. The outlet also confirmed that Harry's iteration of Clayface will be based on the Matt Hagen version of the character, not the Boris or not the Basil Carlo version. Hold on, let me mute Stu's thing. That shit's mad loud. Damn. Hey, Stu, can you mute that, bro?
Really, man. I thought
Yeah, Peacemaker season 2, season 3. I think it's 2.
No, it's two.
Yeah.
Unless they also announced that it's getting a season three.
Oh well, yeah, but no, two's about to come out. And it's gonna be related to the first season, but there will be, I guess, some canonic changes, but it's because it's not exactly the same. So, but it'll be the same. But yeah, I don't know who Tom Reese Harris is, so I'm gonna look him up. They say he's super handsome or whatever, and that it's crazy that he's Clayface. Let me see. Images of Tom Reese Harris. There we go. What? There. I don't think I know this dude. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this guy. I don't think I've seen this guy before.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. No, I don't know this dude. He's been in some shows, I guess. I mean, and yeah, he definitely fits the Clayface role or character. I mean, shit, he kind of looks like Clayface. Nope. What? But yeah, I don't know him from anything. But he's cast. He's
Almost.
Clayface. Matt Hagen. Tom Reed's Harry's cast as Clayface. Da, 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 da. Long and incredibly exhaustive search. Tom Reed's Harry's officially landed the role Clayface, the next major film in DC Studios following Supergirl. After a long, incredibly exhaustive search, we finally found our DC Clayface. There you go. Well, that's it.
I wish he
Confirmed.
looked a little older. But
Mm,
otherwise, we'll just have to see what happens when they show like images and whatnot. But I do wish you were older. He has a bit of a younger face. Not his fault. It's just I
yeah.
wish they went with the older clay face.
Yeah. I agree. I pictured him as being older. I imagined it that he was going to be older than that, but the so yeah, uh Mike Flanagan wrote the initial draft for the movie, with Hossein Amini writing most of the recent Clayface draft. James Wilkins will direct for a September 11th, 2026 release date. The movie it's a bold direction for DC Studios after the crash and burn of its initial extended DC Universe run, which began with Man of Steel and ended with Aquaman and Lost Kingdom. From the ashes appeared James Gunn's new direction for the comic book focused studio, which will be spearheaded by Superman, releasing in theaters 2011. Supergirl comes out June 26, 2026, so like a whole year later. But while some fans thought Clayface was just going to be a standalone title like 2019's Joker, like something like that, Gunn previously confirmed that the movie will be included in the DCU. So characters in the Clayface movie will be connected in some way, or at least the world they're in will be the same world that we see in the rest of the DCU. And he's, teasing some sort of interconnected story. So in doing so, Gunn and Safran DC Studios asserted that Matt Reeves, the Batman, is not part of the DCU either. Of course, still under the DC Studios. So it's not one of those. It's a DCU thing. He said, Gunn said, Clayface is totally DCU. Quote end quote. Hang on, real quick. Yo, what's up, boss? Say what? Yo, B. Did you call me, man? I think you butt dialed me, dog. I can't even tell, man. I feel like you butt dialed me, man. I'm gonna have to call him back.
Oh, that's really bad.
But anyway, yeah, the upcoming movie is included. He said, Gunn said, Clayface is totally DCU. The only thing that's in Matt's world is his crime saga that he's telling. The Matt Reeves Batman. That's it. It's its own thing. There's no other. And the Penguin series, and anything like that spins off of the movie itself. So still under DC Studios, still under us. He said. He said we have an incredible relationship with Matt, but those are the only things. He said it was important that Clayface be part of the DCU. He said it's an origin story for a classic Batman villain that we want to have in our world. So basically, we're going to expect to see this sort of origin story movie for Clayface, and then see Clayface then later in a Batman movie. So we could actually see the Brave and the Bold villain be a Clayface. And I don't, not the thespian, that picked up a life of crime, adopting the Clayface moniker based on the role he played on screen, but actually the actual blob morphing, changing version of Clayface, the big monster. And we saw that guy in Creature Commandos. So same guy. Some fans will probably remember Clayface from the Batman the Animated Series, episodes Feet of Clay Part 1 and Feet of Clay Part 2. And that version of Clayface is a man named Matt Hagen and has a more tragic backstory than the Basil Carlo guy who was the 1940 B-list horror actor from Detective Comics in 1940, and sort of, not really a supernatural character per se, just kind of like a guy. Would have been more at home in a Matt Reeves universe and would be a great character for the Matt Reeves universe. In fact, a phenomenal one. But this guy is going to be the comic book version, the Batman the Animated Series version, the guy we saw in Peacemaker and shit. And so he's got the tragic backstory. He's becoming the terrifying shape-shifting villain that antagonizes Batman and Gotham City. But Flanagan's first draft of the film was inspired by the Batman the Animated Series Clayface. So I think we're definitely in for a dope version of that. That's going to really feel like Clayface that we're used to, not some character from the fucking 1940s comics that nobody alive ever read. So that's cool. Mike Flanagan, speaking of Mike Flanagan, he also is doing a TV show for the Dark Tower, for Stephen King's Dark Tower. And King said he's the only person I trust to do it. He's making changes to the story, though, in his adaptation of Dark Tower. And King said he's the only person I trust to do it. The adaptation has been in development actually since 2022. I had only vaguely heard about it, but now it's like totally going down. And the writer, director, producer guy that's also doing the Clayface for DC, also doing a new adaptation of Carrie and a new Exorcist. So then he's doing he's the reboot king right now, and he's rebooting all the classic horror joints. But Dark Tower is less a horror movie and more of a horror novel by King and more of like a fantasy novel. It's actually a series, a part of like a big series of books. And it's very much, like fantasy versus his typical, horror stuff. And it's been praised for weaving in various Stephen King characters, from like Pennywise is in there. This guy from Randall Flagg from The Stand is in there. Salem Lott's Kurt Barlow is in there. So the intersection between these King novels, and in a sense, one of the most important for an adaptation to get right. But in the interview, Mike Flanagan points out that some of those characters won't be available. For example, Warner Brothers owns the rights to It and Salem's Lot. And so we won't be seeing those characters in his version. And if you remember the movie that came out with Idris Elba, that was a disastrous version. And it was just like I said, The Dark Tower is like 7 novels. You can't fit it in a movie. It was a stupid idea. But a TV show is where you would do it. And so that's cool. They're doing a TV show about Dark Tower, and I couldn't be more excited because Dark Tower is some of the coolest shit on paper. He uses so if anyone else were to talk about changing the Dark Tower in any way, I'd be concerned. But Mike Flanagan's plan seems very solid, though he has evidently knows enough about Stephen King books to understand like what audiences are looking for. And so he uses Insomnia as an example, stating that the average audience member might not catch a reference to the book Insomnia anyway, and so therefore he can alter the story, offering Stephen King fans a character from a different book that Amazon would have the rights to. And so that's the sort of changes that we'll be looking at. There'll be certain shit that rights issues are forcing him to change, and also lack of importance will cause him to leave it out because it just doesn't need, and you can't fit every single thing from a 7-novel series in any live action medium whatsoever, unless you're running a TV show for like 10 years. But Flanagan is currently working on his 4th adaptation of a Stephen King novel, Outside the Dark Tower, and has established himself as a faithful adapter of legendary authors' work. He's delivered some of the most popular horror TV shows of the decade, and while Dark Tower will undoubtedly be his most daunting task, I think he's the only screenwriter that would do it justice. And I don't know. I just sort of wanted to bring that in because we're talking about Clayface, and it's the same guy. But the next big joint, the big joint. Hang on, let me check the chat real quick. Phenomenal, really cool shit. 7 books at 1 extra, right? Connects the whole universe. Yeah, Derry, the whole thing. Yeah, director messed it up. I mean, to be fair, what were you doing? How are you fitting that into 2 hours? But Flanagan just came out with Life of Chuck. It was really good, very heartwarming. It was word for word from the book. He's very good at doing adaptations. So like I said, man, he'd be the one, I think, to do it. So it's cool. And it also makes me happy that he's doing Clayface because he's adapting Clayface from Batman the Animated Series, which is one of the best Batman anythings in the world, and then comics. And he's like the guy who adapts shit. So I'm just excited about the DCU because it's so based on the comics. It's so accurate and just more of an adaptation of comics versus the MCU, which is a creation of content using well-known comic book characters with tidbits from well-known comics peppered in. That's how I describe the MCU versus whereas James Gunn is like adapting a specific comic, Tom King's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, into a specific movie. And that's it. They're not going to pepper in shit from the 3rd Supergirl book or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? They're just, it's about this novel. They're going to adapt it. Thank you. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, officially called Supergirl, period. They have changed the name. The movie is no longer Supergirl, this, that, the other. It's just Supergirl. Just like Superman is no longer Superman Legacy, it's now just Superman. Gunn said that the decision, he said, I'm always cutting away. He said Legacy was really, we do something called pre-mortem. He said a pre-mortem is you get together with your group that's going to do the project. It's usually about a couple months before shooting, and you go hypothetically, if it's a disaster, what are the things that we're doing today that are going to cause it to be an epic disaster? And for everyone here can speak freely, and the things you find on other productions are the things that people are whispering. So like, oh God, I don't know why they cast that actor, or he doesn't fit the role, or the production designer's never on time, or and one of the things that was brought up, that I brought up, it was called Superman Legacy. Even though I was the one that gave it that title, I just wasn't sure. First of all, I'm sick of the superhero title : another name thing. And then it just also seemed to be looking back when we're looking forward, even though it does have to do with legacy in the movie itself. And everybody was like, oh, yeah, no, change it. So we changed it to Superman. Supergirl, same deal. They just took off the Woman of Tomorrow part and just made it Supergirl. But yes, it is still an adaptation of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King. and is gonna have Lobo. Cause hell yeah.
Ooh.
Let me get some water.
Get some agua, some H2O.
Ah, yes.
Oh my god, all my stuff is falling.
I do have a couple of more news bits for y'all.
Ooh.
I think I figured out who Peacemaker season 2's really big cameo is, and it's not who DC fans are expecting. The DC Studios dropped a behind the scenes hype reel for Peacemaker season 2, and while most fans are focused on returning faces and alternate universe teases, there's one blink and you miss it moment that could point to something much bigger: a Martian-sized cameo. In a recent interview, James Gunn teased a really, really, really big cameo in Peacemaker season 2. So naturally, fans immediately started guessing names: Clark Kent, Jonathan Kent, Lois Lane, Creature Commandos is Weasel, Cersei, right? But what if the hype sizzle actually hints at a special alien as the big surprise? And the video showcases plenty of like exciting glimpses not yet seen in trailers. We've seen the video. I've showed it, like Rick Flag Sr. beating the hell out of Peacemaker in an interrogation room. Michael Rooker's return as Eagly's nemesis. But a sneak peek at the new dance intro variant of Robert Patrick's White Dragon. There's one particularly strange shot that I think drew some attention. A brief glimpse of what looks like a new alien character. And there might be a hint at the arrival of the Martians. The White Martians.
Oh boy. Oh.
In DC lore, the White Martians are a dangerous extraterrestrial race that debuted in Justice League number 71. Went on to become a recurring threat in stories like JLA, The New World Order, Brightest Day, Son of Mars. And the White Martians are longtime enemies of the Green Martians, which are the peaceful species that includes, yes, Martian Manhunter. And both races were originally part of the same species known as the Burning. And their deep ties to the Phantom Zone open up some potentially cosmic storytelling opportunities that I'm very excited about, because DC has a very, very cool cosmic, world universe. And here's where it gets interesting. The Superman movie is rumored to involve pocket universes or alternate dimensions, right? Multiverse shit. And if that's true, and Peacemaker is teasing a Martian of any kind, this could be James Gunn setting the groundwork, foreshadowing Martian Manhunter. The dots are very clearly a little too connected. And why Martian Manhunter? Okay, so 2026, we got the Lantern show, right? John Stewart, Hal Jordan, Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner coming in. And Fillion is already the connective tissue between Gunn's film Superman and the TV show projects, as he's going to be in both Superman and Lanterns. In the comics, Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern are co-founders of the Justice League. They're also two of DC's most powerful cosmic characters by far. And that, it does make sense for John's reveal to appear in Lanterns. But what if Peacemaker season 2 is the soft launch or the foreshadowing, and they do the white Martians as a breadcrumb that starts building toward the formation of Gunn's Justice League without making a big announcement? And that's what they want to avoid. And so there's no comic history between Peacemaker and Martian Manhunter at all. Peacemaker is traditionally a grounded street level hero, nothing cosmic going on. But season 1 already kind of took him into alien territory with the the whole butterfly alien invasion thing, and so that kind of cracked the door open for more extraterrestrial threats. And so if season 1 could like do any alien mind control slug thing that it thought of, then I think season 2 doing Martians is not at all a stretch. And so the white Martians are shapeshifters, right? In comics, they're like Skrulls. And so, you know, I know there's not like enough plot info to speculate like who the alien could be, but it's possible that it could be hiding like in plain sight as one of the, you know, human people. And so if this new face is indeed a white Martian, it's possible that it comes from the variant Peacemaker's universe. And so maybe it's one of the 11th Street kids in disguise, or hopefully Martian Manhunter pops in. But August 2024, Gunn tweeted a photo of Chocos, the DC universe version of Oreos. And on its own, in just a fun, Easter egg. But for a long time, DC fans, Chocos, whatever, are a dead giveaway. They are Martian Manhunter's favorite snack. He eats fucking chocolate. Basically, he loves Oreos, and they can't use the name Oreos, so they call him Chocos. And so he's borderline addicted to them in the comics. And the timing, like, of that tweet aligns with, listen, man, come on, man. None of this shit is by mistake. He tweets the fucking Chocos and then says a really, really, really big cameo right there. So if it ain't Martian Manhunter himself, it's a white, but I don't think a white Martian is a really, really, really big cameo. A cameo from Superman 1 month after the movie releases, might be thinking too small, but Gunn already confirmed 3 big Superman connections. And so if Martian Manhunter is the surprise reveal, Peacemaker season 2 might be the, quiet beginning of the DCU's cosmic phase. Because, Gunn is the cosmic dude. And so I think it's going to be a no-brainer that, Martian Manhunter will definitely be part of the DCU. And we've never seen Martian Manhunter yet in any live-action universe, so...
We did in the Snyderverse. It was quick. And the CW-verse, technically, if you want to be technical.
I don't
The
count that
CW-verse
shit
was
in the
like
Snyder.
garbage, but like
Yeah.
the Snyder one he was there and he was a part. It was a weird part, but he was a part.
Yeah, I totally didn't even count that, but like, I guess. But like, yeah, I want to see like, I mean like him like talking and like being there and like being John Johns and like going through, like seeing him.
Oh
like
yeah, then you could really only count the CW-verse in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And I honestly, to be honest, guys, I would have no idea. I never watched it. I never watched any network TV shows, like, at all. I don't. I think Breaking Bad, Mad Men, and like Better Call Saul. Very little network TV have I ever watched. I can't stand it. I can't stand commercials and shit. I just don't like it. Maybe I'm just impatient. But Gunn, who's he talking about? He said, so death can be a big inconvenience when handling a world full of Kryptonians, light up space police, and monsters put together by Victor von Frankenstein. The Superman director, James Gunn, sorry, always one for like interacting on threads with fans. He responded to a query regarding Creature Commandos, which got the green light for a second season last year. So they asked him if there was a chance that of Princess Iana Rostovich making a comeback after being shot in the head by the bride at the end of the first season. And Gunn made things crystal clear. He said, in the DCU, if you die, you're dead. He explained.
We'll see how long that lasts.
He said it's the way I've always done it. And that's just he said um I wouldn't mind using the Lazarus pit in a resurrection or like in a story, but it would have to be part of the story itself. He said, I won't be killing major characters just to pop them up in the old Lazarus pit to be alive again. What backfires more is people believing that there are no stakes and that death doesn't mean anything. He said, dead is dead. Um,
Uh-huh.
so,
We'll see
yeah.
how long that lasts. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't
You
believe
don't,
that for
you don't think,
anything.
why? Why do you say that?
I don't believe that for anything because first of all, we're dealing with the realm of comics where a lot of time death is just it's just out there. It's just oh, it's there, whatever. We dealt with it a
Yeah.
lot in the MCU and even going to the DCU. The thing is like we're in a position where he can't even keep the continuity straight, and I'm supposed to believe that he's not going to not necessarily kill off major characters, but you're gonna tell me you're not gonna bring a character back one day. I don't really believe that, and it's fine. Like if he does, it's whatever, but I don't
Yeah.
believe that. I don't believe that for a second. I will
I
have
think,
to see that in play, and
yeah.
yeah, I will have to see that in play because I don't believe that.
I got you. I got that's
Mhm.
valid. That's valid. The only reason I believe it is because I understand Gunn's style and I understand why he's saying what he's saying, and I get that he's all about writing and good storytelling. And the worst thing in storytelling is not believing there's any stakes. That's why like I love Game of Thrones because they season 1 lets you know that nobody is safe. And season 2 they rammed it home. Season 3 they fucking harped on it like motherfucking major characters are dying like flies. You don't know who's safe. Anyone can get it. And that made it so intense. And I mean it's a very 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 powerful thing to kill off a big main character like that in a story where you know it's not they're not coming back. And so like you're right. Comic books, we know they do it all the time. The death of such and such. Like back in the 60s when they first did it, motherfuckers were like, "Oh my god." But then like we started to learn like they're just going to bring them back because they're what are they going to do? Create a new character that's going to be that popular? No, they're going to keep milking that cow. But he's not necessarily making a recurring issue of comics or just setting up like a comic universe that has to go on forever. It's a finite live action thing that he's telling in a story. So, and I don't think he's going to kill Superman. I don't think he's going to kill Batman. I don't think he's ever going to kill any big character that we have to worry about him having to bring back. But you're right. If he does kill any big character like that, it's going to be a Lazarus Pit fucking movie coming down the road. And because it was a fan had proposed one single get out of jail free rule in the DC when he was asking them about this, that could bring characters back from the brink and the Lazarus Pit. And so we saw that in Batman comics, came out in 1972. It was a supernatural like pool that Ra's al Ghul uses to bring people back from the dead and like how he lives forever and shit. And so Batman, Wonder Woman, even the Joker have used the pit when in pretty bad condition. And so knowing that and like factoring that in, Gunn did hint that he'd consider some of his characters, you know, taking a dip, but only if it was relative to the story being told, not just for the sake of doing it. And so while he's saying, yeah, dead is dead, I don't expect him to like kill anybody. Like,
But
he killed
also, it's like if he
the
does kill someone, they will be you'll probably be able to tell. It'll be like the equivalent of like a Slipknot character from Suicide Squad. Like you'll be able to
right.
know, oh, okay, they're gonna get killed off. And that
Yeah.
also adds to the problem of no stakes. Not to say you have to kill a
Yeah,
major
it
character
does.
in every film, but when
Hmm.
you have an ensemble film, which he mostly does, and you have these characters that you know are expendable and the ones that
Right.
you know he's not touching, it just makes it hard to get fully invested, I would say.
Hmm.
We'll have
Yeah.
to see what happens, obviously. But I just, that's why I don't really believe it when he says that because it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, if this was something that had to go on forever and ever, yeah, I wouldn't believe him either. I because I would know that it's just not possible. But I don't know. I think that he can pull it off because, like, yeah, it's a finite thing, and I don't think. I mean, who did he kill? He killed some character in like creature commandos or whatever, like who cares? Um, I don't even know the name of that person that got killed. Like I don't care. So that was nothing. And like saying dead is dead, sure, yeah. When you kill, like you said, some expendable character like that, yeah, they're dead. Like they're not coming back. I believe that. Um, I just don't believe he's ever gonna kill a major character. So yeah, and that does hurt the stakes. That hurts the intention of like knowing that shit is real. And but that also goes with these mega characters. Like they're not gonna make a Batman movie and then kill Batman. Like then it's never gonna happen. No one's gonna ever do that. He might come to the brink. He might even die, but later he's gonna pop into the Lazarus pit before the movie's over. Like that's. So, he's working with untouchable sort of characters in that sense. So, but I do think he will kill off people outside of like the Justice League characters. Like those people, I think can die and they'll stay dead. Like, yeah, Guy Gardner could die, and I don't think he'll bring him back. Like, maybe not Hal Jordan, maybe not Jon Stewart, but characters like
Honestly,
that.
I could
So,
see Hal Jordan kicking it, and he doesn't
yeah,
bring him. I could
yeah,
see it.
yeah.
I really could.
More so than Jon Stewart, yeah, because
Yeah,
he's
because I
older and
think they cast it like an older Hal. I feel like it's gonna
yeah,
be like a mentor mentee thing, and then he might kick
yeah,
the bucket. I don't know, but we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. It's likely that he would die. That would give a lot of stakes, and then that would be a great
Yeah,
example of Gunn being honest. He's gonna die, and he's not gonna come back. He's not gonna bring Hal back if he dies.
but it's also like the intention in the first place of casting an older Hal, when realistically we
Right.
could have had a Hal and John exist,
Yeah.
just existing and either working together, or they're both in the core or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's just it happens. So
To be fair though, he's
well,
not like he's 80 or something. I mean, he's.
he's not, but at the same time, I mean, with that actor, I don't see him carrying that role on 5 years
Yeah.
from now, 10 years from now. I just don't see it. So, I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
when you
yeah,
sign up to play one of these comic characters in these universes, you signing up for 10 years.
yeah, at least. And the guy
Yeah.
who's playing John, he's like in his 30s. So, I mean,
Yeah.
he could commit to that if that's the
Yeah.
timeline for John. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Um but yeah, while it's interesting that Gunn is open to including the Lazarus Pit and like comic book lore like that in his world, and that's also one that's only just starting to spin, but even mentioning the Lazarus Pits now would be wild, given that we don't really we haven't had the Batman yet or anything like that in place to dive into them. But for now, I think we'll have to see who makes it out alive when Superman ends. But we don't have much longer to wait for that. We have about a month, a little less. So all the speculation will come to an end, and we'll know. We'll finally know. Did he blow it, or did he save it?
Ruh-roh. At least, I
Uh,
mean, the people are hyped for the film. I think when tickets went on sale, they like broke down Fandango for that and Fantastic Four. So I was like, oh, people are
mhm.
excited. People are checking in. So
Yep.
that's something. That's a positive, a net positive.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Marvel Studios just released the theme for Galactus from the movie First Steps. Little theme music. Uh, yeah, I haven't heard it yet. Let's bump
I
that
have
shit.
not either.
Joker never dies, bro. Look, it's my favorite villain. Antithesis to my favorite hero. I'm the same as Gunn. Like Batman's my guy. Like I'm a Marvel guy, like as a whole, but like still I have a special place for Batman. He's just the coolest. Like I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm the
Uh,
same way, but I'm a DC girl, and then my special is Spider-Man, Fantastic
uh-huh,
Four, and X-Men. Those are my three. Those are my
right.
top three.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's definitely X-Men. Yeah, and Spidey, and for sure, and Marvel. I love Marvel like cosmic universe. I love all that shit too. That's
Oh
that's
yeah.
that really brings me in. But I like the I just like the vibe of Marvel. It's a different vibe than DC, and it's hard to people try to say like, well, Marvel's this and DC's this. It's not really. You can't say like DC is more serious and Marvel. And it's no, that's not true. And Marvel characters have problems and DC characters don't. Not true. Like none of these so-called fucking differences are really true across the board. But there is a vibe, like there is something different about it. I just there is no way to point, put pinpoint a finger on it. But I don't know. It's just I'll just always be a Marvel dude. I don't know why. Why?
Nothing
But
wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
let's see what they cooked up here. Okay, I don't know if I can even play this, being that it's like probably copywritten music. Um, what to do? Well, everyone go check out this tweet and you can listen to it. I can mute it and play it. Here we go. Stop. Damn, this shit's a minute long. Well, yeah, you can catch about a minute and 7 seconds of the Galactus theme. I'm sure it's some ominous ambient. Yep. Oh, it's got like a horror-y kind of aspect, like a yeah. Interesting. Ah. Are y'all hearing that? I don't know if you can even hear that. Hang on.
It like comes through a little bit, but it's not like crystal clear.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened? Oh, I wonder what happened. Hmm. Oh, hi guys. Dude, what? I wonder what happened. Mm. Yeah, he must have froze. It must have been that. Well, he'll be back. Can I entertain? I don't know if I can entertain. I think I can. I don't know. Um, but he's already talked about a lot of things also. Um, I talked about, well, I didn't give my opinion on the Superman movie. I'm actually cautiously excited about Superman. Out of between that one and Fantastic Four, Superman is the one I'm going to see for sure. Um, which is like crazy to say because if I had to pick, it would be Fantastic Four on a given day because I'm not super connected with Superman, but oh, they just have not been doing that very right. So we'll see about Superman. We will see. I don't know. I think James Gunn talks a very great game. But his delivery is always spotty for me. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I'm always a little cautious. Yeah. You know. So we'll see though. I'm still like excited. I love the vibrancy. I love him and Lois. Just the little bits that I've seen look really nice. I'm wondering, oh, he's back. Welcome back.
Yeah, I had some technical issues. I think I don't know what happened. I was just like storming outside and shit just flickered and then I just shut down the computer. I had
Yeah,
to
it was
restart it.
storming earlier. It was crazy. It was really bad over here. Oof.
Hmm.
Mm.
You think so?
Yeah, I could see it depending on I could kind of see it. I could. Yeah. They've been promoting the hell out of Superman. But I
They're doing
mean,
another Jurassic Park. What is this?
mhm. It's with Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey, I think that's his name. But yeah, so I
Huh.
think they dropped a trailer a little bit ago. But yeah, I could see it just because they're
Wow.
still going into it where the DC's very tainted as a brand. Superman has been shuffled
Yeah.
around, choked around as a character. So it's, I think the promotion is going fine. They're really, really trying to promote the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But they have a road. They do have a road ahead of them. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. But
Yeah.
if it is, then that's great. But yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, Jurassic Park's always a hit. That's just one of those cash cows, ready made, guaranteed bangers. So that's what. Yeah, I was like, oh, they're making another Jurassic Park. Well, that's another billion.
Yeah, who knows? See, I don't even. Yeah, Jurassic does always do the billions. It does. I don't. Sometimes it's like I don't even know how, but of course,
I'm not.
it's
Yeah, I'm not.
Jurassic.
I
It's
get bored.
Jurassic. I don't know. I don't know.
Like for me, it's like you've seen one, you've seen them all. But I know they have their merits and shit. I mean, the one with like the one with I guess it was the last one with Star Lord, um, with that giant sea monster one, like the big ass crocodile came out at the end and shit. Like that was pretty crazy. Like that was kind of creepy, bro. I was like, oh shit, I don't need to see no shit like that. And I guess it was a setup, man, for the next movie. So I know they did like a sequel, but yeah, they there's a lot they can do. I mean, they they've been making up dinosaurs since the first movie, so it's not like they have only a select number of dinosaurs to be able to choose from. They can always make up shit, and they make up hybrids and shit. Like they always make these monsters. So
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah,
guess they're trying to do like a soft little reboot because the last couple ones were with Chris Pratt, and
Chris
now,
Pratt, right? Yeah,
I
they
guess
were all
it's staying.
crazy.
So, we'll
I
see.
mean, I said it has a rancor in this one,
Oh my god.
like a hybrid. Oh man,
And it's like stuff like that. It's like I could see someone bored. They're like, "Oh, what movie should we see?" It's like late at night.
yeah.
Jurassic. I could see that.
It was years after it came out. Eventually, I did watch the Chris Pratt ones, but it was years later. Like
Yeah.
I had no interest, and it was one of those, like you said, like it was just like nothing else. Let me see what this shit's like. And of course, I knew it was not going to be bad or anything. It was okay, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, that's fair.
But and not that it's, I don't know. Like I love the first one. Like when the first one came out, that was huge. That was epic. I was there for that. I was a kid, and it was a big deal. Like seeing that for the first time. That was the first time they ever did anything like that. It was almost like they did bring dinosaurs back to life. That's how crazy that's how that movie, that's how that first, because it was the first time we ever saw special effects with dinosaurs that looked anywhere near that real or anything. And so,
Oh yeah, that's because they were using the animatronics too.
yep,
So that definitely helped.
yep. Yeah, I've seen some variants of other ways they were gonna do the dinosaurs, and oh man, it would have sucked. Yeah,
But yeah, Superman, it's going to be July is going to be a very interesting month because Fantastic Four will compete with Soups with
yeah,
Fantastic Four,
yeah.
and then throw Jurassic in there. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Fantastic Four, I'm pretty scared going up against Superman. Just in terms of popularity of characters, but they have a really good everything else. So they've got
Yeah,
a
I mean,
great shot.
popularity wise, yeah. But then it's like, I don't know, because like Fantastic Four is going in, they failed 3 times in a row. Well, yeah, basically.
Right.
I like the first two, but
They
I
also
mean,
have an uphill battle. The only one
yeah.
I liked, yeah, I did like the one. Well, I like the Jessica Alba ones, but
Yeah, I
that's
like
it.
the first two, and then I hated Fant Four Stick. But like even like writing wise, they were all weak, and then
Yeah,
they're coming
yeah.
into it with that, and it's been like kind of bad press around that movie. With
Mm,
the casting first, and
yeah,
then Silver Surfer second.
yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to
Still
see what that
casting.
one does too. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They both they're both on shaky ground.
yeah,
They
so
both,
it'll be very interesting to see them go head to head. I'm actually like very excited
yeah,
to see reports on that when that comes out.
yeah. And I mean, I don't know. Man of Steel certainly didn't flop, but
Yeah, enough for Warner Bros to kill him off in the next movie. So
yeah, they botched that second one.
yeah, that's the one thing I'm hoping for. If this movie does a cool 600 million, I hope Warner Brothers doesn't look at that and then get reactionary and then start like and then everything just starts to woo 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 because that's what happens with
Yeah.
every time it's like I don't know. So
No, I
we'll
mean,
have to see.
they sort of. I mean, I mean, Gunn has the control. He's got the con, so it's.
He does, but it's also like if it doesn't make the money, that conversation that could easily change. I
Oh, if
mean,
it doesn't make the money, yeah.
if
I
it
mean,
doesn't look
if it
to what
does, if it,
what they're expecting at the very least, that conversation could change, and it would be
yeah,
dumb
yeah,
because 600 million. I mean, for Superman, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
yeah.
It's not enough for you to throw it all away
No,
and start meddling. So it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
it's
I
a
mean, yeah,
decent starting point. So
yeah. And if it does really, really well, I don't. I'm not worried about them because, like, yeah, in the past, Hollywood, if it did really well, they would just go crazy and just start doing Superman this, Superman that, Superman, Superman, Superman. Uh, but that's not what they won't do that. If it's really big and does really well, they'll be like, oh, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, and so that'll be good. But yeah, if it does bad and they start putting their hands in, if it does bad, it's not gonna matter anyway. It's gonna be a wrap.
yeah, they
Like
really need this to
everything
do
depends on
something.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They really need this to do something. So for their sake, I hope it does. Because WB is already in dire straits financially, which is their own fault, but it's like so
yeah,
so that's gonna be ooh.
yeah. Well, let's see here. Before we do bounce, I got one more item for discussion. The season 4 of Invincible will apparently address fans' biggest complaint. It's currently in the works. Robert Kirkman is teasing fans with what to expect from the return of Invincible. Season 3 just premiered earlier this year. Fans were engrossed with Mark's relentless efforts to save the world from the incoming Viltrumite Empire. Angstrom Levy, his own evil variants. Season 3 more than delivered in terms of emotional and impactful story. The season fell victim to the same complaints that have befallen the show since the first season. Despite being Prime Video's most popular animated series, Invincible's animation quality has always been its downfall and has just really been a fucking eyesore and really
Oh,
made it hard to watch. But they've shown that they can do better because we've seen little where they'll do better for this or that reason. And but over the past 3 seasons, fans have repeatedly pointed out that despite having the billionaire backing of Jeff Bezos, who has enough money to send Katy Perry to space for some reason. Invincible's adaptation doesn't have the animation quality that it deserves or could easily have. In season 3's finale, we saw Mark take on Conquest, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, which somewhat addressed fans' complaints. Had some good animation, but Kirkman promises that season 4 is taking the animation to the next level. We'll see, Robert. We'll see, because we've heard that shit before.
They better. I'm just telling you right now. If the animation is not better, I have to clock out. I've been reviewing that show
I'll
on
be
my
done.
channel since the first season, and the animation has gotten worse from the
Yep.
first season. I don't even understand how that's possible. Like, I really don't get it, and I don't blame the animators. I not really, because I feel like they're working with what they've got,
What
which
they
is not a
got,
lot,
yeah.
you know.
What
And
they're
it's
given.
like, and whatever time constraints, it's just like absolutely ridiculous that you're backed by Amazon, or that Amazon is backing the show, but not really. Like, they're not really supporting the show where it
Yeah.
matters. So it's like so ridiculous. I don't get it. Ugh. Season 3 was absolutely like, oh, it was so bad animation wise. It was so bad.
Yeah. Really had some
It was so bad.
deplorable work. Yes, deplorable work. But speaking of Invincible, the recent video game that we discussed, Marvel Tokon, which is the new tag team fighter in the vein of Dragon Ball Z Fighters, and looks phenomenal. We saw some sort of mocked up gameplay, and the sort of hype around tag team fighters that really started with really with Marvel vs. Capcom, and then the
Uh-huh.
absence of Marvel vs. Capcom spawned Dragon Ball Z Fighters and others that have just really gone nuts. Well, Invincible has a tag team fighter coming out,
Oh boy.
and Skybound found a team of fighting game vets who are also Invincible fans. Invincible Versus is being made for both serious fighters and Invincible fans. So if you're into fighting games and you're really serious about it, like my son, for example, and all the frames of each move and shit, you'll dig this. It's a 3-versus-3 tag based, whereas Tokon is the first 4v4 tag fighter. But we talked about Marvel Tokon. This is Invincible Versus, is what it's called. It says first 3v3 tag-based fighting game based on Kirkman's Invincible comics and animated series is being developed with you in mind. Whether you're a serious player of fighting games or just someone who digs Invincible, developer Quarter Up wants to give you something you'll love, says executive producer Mike Willett. First and foremost, we're building a tournament-quality, brutal, superhuman fighting game with a tag component in it. Willett told me in a video call, blah, 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 blah. Wants to make Invincible Versus your first fighting game. One of our mantras at Quarter Up is we say we want every player to look and feel like a badass. Blah, 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 blah. Willett previously worked on 2013 revival of Killer Instinct, which was fire. And that's very promising. I didn't realize that's who this was. At Quarter Up, the first internal studio at Skybound Games. He's joined by some of his former Killer Instinct, including game director David Hall, lead combat designer John Batista, and Brandon Misak, who's working on Invincible versus Rollback Netcode. This is amazing. Killer Instinct, the 2013 revival, is a phenomenal game. And if this is even close, and I don't know if this is real here or if this is just some sort of like, this is what we're kind of going for, this is the idea kind of thing, or if this is actually how the game's gonna look. I hope this is not how the game's gonna look. I'm sure it's not. But Be cool if it was cell shaded like this, though. I like that it looks like a cartoon. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what the show needs. Some damn shading on their characters.
Yeah, right. Exactly. The quarter up
Oh,
team will
so
add
cool.
learn. Yeah. He said killer. He learned lessons over Killer Instinct. He said over the past 10 years, dreaming about making our next fighter. One thing that we recognize is no one wants to watch a single player game or participate in one. Games where you get to hit once and you're like, oh shit, now I'm just watching somebody else play. Invincible versus will feature a cast of familiar hero. I don't know what the fuck that means. What are you talking about? Nobody wants to play a single player game
Is
or
he
participate.
talking about like the QTE events? Maybe maybe
I
it's like I don't know. I'm not really understanding. Also, I don't know.
I don't know. Referring to endless combos in game. Okay, he's talking about like where oh, I see what he's saying. Okay. He's saying nobody likes to get in the game and you're in a fighting game and someone starts a fucking combo and you just basically have to wait for them to finish their combo and sometimes they can just kill you. They just take your whole life bar
Oh,
while you're just sitting there. And that's definitely goes on in fighting games. And so he's saying no one wants that single player game or participate in a single player. What he means is a fighting single player game. Endless combos in games where you get hit once and you're like, oh shit, now I just have to wait for them to finish their combo. He said invincible. So basically there'll be combo breakers, blocks, parries, counters, shit like that they have been putting into more modern games. So that's really cool. A lot of mechanics are promised. It says it's going to feature a cast of familiar heroes and villains. So expect to see like Battle Beast and Angstrom Levy and like
Battle
uh
Beast.
yeah, I can't wait. That's my favorite. Let's see. We really wanted to enforce the idea of teams, he said, as part of our OMI tag system, where you're in a combo string, you can hold down one of your assists. We call it an active tag. They come in and continue the combo right alongside with you, and you can do it in the ground, you can do it in the air. We wanted to create a really flexible system where you didn't have to memorize how many ground bounces or wall bounces or OTGs you had in a combo. I wonder how that's going to be. Because, like, that's integral in fighting games now. Like, you have, so that's really weird. I wonder what they're talking about, how this is going to be different. He explained that the combo meter, which he described as like a bucket that you hold all your combos in, and when it gets full, someone will drop out of your combo. There are certain things that you can do within that structure that's super flexible and allows you to kind of cheat a little bit or continue your combo. So when I active tag in a partner, I get a little bit of that combo meter back. Yeah, I'll have to see that to understand.
Yeah,
But previous,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I
go ahead.
get it, but the way he's explaining it is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, exactly. Like it could have been much easier said, but um yeah, they said they don't want players to get stuck in endless combos and watch helplessly as their life depletes. There are other ways to get out of a combo sequence. He said during those active tag sequences, you could do a counter tag. So even if you're down to your last character, if you see an incoming character, there's a way for you to break and get out of it. There's also a way to bait break. And so then you get this interplay of mind games whenever a active tag occurs between the two sides. In addition to that, enforcing team play, you can actually call in one of your assists on your tag to on your team to break up the combo. But you're sacrificing resources and you're sacrificing using them for 10 seconds. So you weigh in risk reward of all these systems and interplay between them. Huh. Okay. The systems allow for hype moments. Yeah, this does look like the game. So this is what it's gonna look like.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I hope it like looks better in action. I hope this is
Yeah,
like
maybe this is just
mock-ups.
like the demo or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a demo. It's definitely just a demo.
Mm.
Um
But it still looks like not too bad. I feel like I hope
yeah,
they can use the environment while they're
yeah,
fighting too.
yeah, definitely. And I hope they can like break through environments and go into other environments.
Yeah, like in Justice. Like that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that in Injustice. You can do it in the DBZ Fighters. You can do it in the
Yeah.
Marvel Tokon game. Yeah. He said, "We love characters and we love the genre. We want to marry those two things and make you a fan." So yeah, it's a great combination. It's fighting games and characters that people are into. So you can't go wrong. It's not like they're making up a fighting game with made up characters. This is the new thing where they take known characters and make games out of them. Like when I was a kid, fighting games were the characters. Like the characters were made up for the game, and they were that character. Like we know Ryu and Ken and like Liu Kang and shit. Like that's who those characters are. They're not from anything else.
Right.
But like when Marvel vs. Capcom came out, these are characters from something else. And then Dragon Ball Z Fighters, these are characters from something else. And now we've got Marvel Tokon, characters from something else. And now Invincible has its verses, so characters that are already known characters coming into a fighting game. So that's a new phenomenon that is really cool. What you gotta do? No, no, I'm about to.
I gotta download it.
Right now?
Yeah.
Why? My son's taking the PS5, yeah.
Good. You know what? I have
Yeah.
mine right in here. I'm ready.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. But yeah, man, that's it. You need to do a video about this, bro. Buddy, you should do a video about tag team fighter games.
oh, does he have a YouTube channel?
He does, and it's
Oh, super
phenomenal.
cool.
Bro, he got like 150,000 views on one of his videos.
Very cool. Very cool. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So yeah, he's in. But yeah, you can check him out on. Let me throw his joint up here.
Oh yeah, I'll look it up after the stream.
Yeah. Wait, why can't? How do I put it? Okay. Bong. Like this?
Together.
Like that. All right. There it is. It's like milk dud with an H and a D added. Or sorry, yeah, an H and an E added rather. Like
Okay.
like milk dude with an H between the U and the D. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I will look that up.
Yeah, check it out, y'all. He does some dope videos about like video games, mostly like video game, and I don't mean just like let's plays. Like he's literally talking about like create character design and dope shit like that. Like it's very good. Honestly, bro, I think he's gonna be like really successful at this shit. Like he's really good. He's got that charismatic voice that it just draws people in and super like well thought out and like well written essays, and just the video editing is just really great. And yeah, man, I just, first of all, as you can tell, I couldn't be prouder as a father, but like if I wasn't his dad, I would just still be wildly amazed. And the comments in his shit, people are just like, wow, like, yeah, so like he's definitely gonna be successful.
I love that. Yay! I'll definitely check it out.
He started with, well, I mean, I was gonna say he started with 50 subs. No, I mean he had 50 subs when he put this one video up, and it got like 150,000 views, and that video built him 500 subs.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it only takes one, because my thing, I had like 6, and then one video got like 47K, and it boosted me to where I am now. And then I just completely left my channel alone. But like it only takes one video sometimes, and that's it. So yeah.
Absolutely. And then like, yeah, and then like, you kind of, the goal is to kind of get like about half of the views that you have subs, like on each video. Like if you have 500 subs, you want to get about 250 views on your videos. And he's getting, more views than he has subs on his videos. So that's a very good sign. Like if you're starting a channel or anything and you're doing that, like that's a great sign that you're doing something right. So I can't wait to see where he goes, man. But that pretty much does it for us tonight, though, guys. We will see you, of course, this weekend as we do our Saturday show, and every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. We'll be right here. So y'all be safe. Have a good rest of your week. Happy Juneteenth, since I won't see you tomorrow. And yes, and I'll see you guys Friday.
Be water, my friend.
Peace.
Be water, my friend.